everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video will be a book haul. I guess this is technically my October book haul. It's a little late because I was waiting for some packages, but everything finally arrived and I have 17 books to haul today. I think this is going to be my last haul until January. I think I'm going to do like a Christmas book haul, but this I think is my last haul for the next like 2 months. So I bought 10 books from Indigo and I did actually have a $20 coupon. I had saved enough Plum Rewards points that I was able to get $20 off. And then I did buy 7 books from Amazon, which I do have in packages, so I will unbox these on camera. But I also had a $10 gift card for Amazon because I do use Honey. This is obviously not an ad, but I do use Honey, and once you get like enough points you can get gift cards and stuff. So I did have a $10 gift card for Amazon. I'm gonna start with the books from Indigo first, and the first 2 I didn't actually buy with my Indigo $20 off Plum Rewards coupon thing. I bought these before that because it said these were on back order, so that they had to order them before I would get them, but it actually didn't really take that long, so I ended up getting them a lot sooner. But that is book 2 and book 3 in the Artist Trilogy by Karina Howley. So book 2 is Shooting Scars and book 3 is Bold Tricks. I have been meaning to complete the trilogy for years. I don't know why it took me so long to get both of these. I have owned the first book for like ever, and I finally decided to buy these. I think because these were technically on back order, I didn't feel like waiting that long for them. And I think that there are like some copies that are not mass market paperback, and it was just kind of confusing, but Indigo had them, so I finally ordered them. I love this trilogy. It is one of my favorites by Karina Howley. It is a very dark romance, mafia, cartel series. I am just so glad I finally have the completed trilogy. The next one I bought from Indigo is The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling. This one I actually bought in store. I didn't get it with the $20 coupon. I had every intention of reading this in October, but I didn't end up reading it. I am pre-filming this video, so maybe I have read it by now. I don't know. I feel like I'm still going to read this sometime in November, so hopefully I have read it. I don't know much about this, to be honest. I just know it is about witches, and I think it's a second chance romance. I've heard pretty good things about it, so I am excited to read this. So the rest of the books from Indigo were purchased with my $20 coupon. So the first one I bought is Lick and Play by Kylie Scott. This is the first 2 books in the Stage Dive series. I have read this series. I read it years ago. I really enjoyed it, and Lick is actually going to become a Passionflix adaptation at some point. I did pick it up because of that, but also because I do want to reread this series. I really want to try to reread a lot of books next year. That is kind of one of my goals. Like, I would love to reread an old favorite book every month. So a lot of these books are books I have already read and I already love. I just don't own a physical copy of them. I was gonna buy the second bind up because there is another bind up of the next 2 books in the series, but it isn't available, so that kind of sucks. I'm gonna have to try to find that somewhere. I actually like mass market paperbacks, so that's kind of why I decided to buy the bind up. Normally I would just buy like each separate book, but I just felt like buying the bind up. It is very floppy, which is really nice. I am actually very excited to reread this at some point. This is a like rock star band romance. It's really fun. And speaking of band related romances, I did buy Backstage Pass by Olivia Cunning. I recently mentioned this in my favorite erotica romances video, and it just made me feel really inspired to buy this book and to reread it. I do own Hot Ticket, which I think is the 3rd book, and I don't own the rest of the series. That one I did buy at a thrift store, and it doesn't match this height or cover, but honestly I don't really care. I feel like I'm a little bit more chill about series kind of mismatching now. I think like there's really nothing I can do about it, especially because this series is quite old. It came out back in 2010. This edition came out in 2016. So like it is rare that I can collect old books in like new editions and like have them all match. Like I'm kind of over that, especially for older series and stuff. But I'm just really happy to finally have a copy of this, and I am going to reread it soon. It's been a while, but I have, I think, read this twice already. It's a very steamy, fun, rock star romance series. I really love the band. I think the second book is my favorite, but I really enjoyed the first book. Then I bought Naked by Rain Miller. This is the first book in the Blackstone Affair series. This one I also mentioned in my favorite erotica video. I didn't own a physical copy of this. I, again, want to reread this whole series, so I just figured I would go ahead and buy the first book in the series, and I am planning on buying the rest. I didn't realize how small this book is. Like, I haven't read it in years, so I forget that it is a very short book. Kind of the same as all of those books that came out back in that era of erotica. It was like a lot of contracts, businessmen related romances. This is one of my favorites, so I'm glad I finally have the first book in the series. The next one is More Than This by Jay McLean. This is the first book in the More Than series. This one and the last one I do not own. I really enjoy the first 4 books in the series, and I didn't own the first book, which is so weird. I don't know why I own book 2, 3, and 4 and I don't own this one. This is a like high school new adult romance, and our female character basically like loses her entire family, and she goes to live with this guy that she has a crush on. I know it sounds weird, but it's actually a really beautiful, heartbreaking romance, and I loved the characters. Book 4 is my favorite in the entire series, but I'm happy I finally bought the first book. The next one is Be With Me by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This, I think, is, I guess, the second book in the Wait For You series. I don't actually know what the series is called, to be honest. I really enjoyed the first book. I do own the first book, and I think I own one of the other books in the series. I think I actually liked this book more than Wait For You, but this is a brother's best friend romance. I'm honestly so happy to add this to my JLA collection. I feel like it never stops growing. I'm constantly buying her older books and her newer books. I just really love her stuff. I especially love her older books, but yeah, she is honestly one of my favorite authors, and I am very excited to reread this. The next book is also another book I have read and loved, and that is Beautiful Player by Christina Lauren. I, again, also want to reread this series soon, so I decided to finally pick up physical copies of them. I do own a few already in the series, but I obviously am going to be buying the ones that I don't own. I think this one and the last book in the series are my favorite, but I'm definitely going to figure that out for sure when I reread this series. This, again, is another brother's best friend romance, and I believe our character asks for like dating advice, and the male character helps her with that. It's been a long time since I've read this series, but I'm very excited to have this. And the last book I bought from Indigo is actually a book I haven't read yet, and that is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is her newest release, and I recently read Daisy Jones and the Six, and I really loved it. And I have been meaning to catch up and buy all of Taylor Jenkins Reid's novels. I've heard mixed things about this one, but I feel like I will like it. It essentially just follows the Rivas siblings, and I think they host like this really big party, and I think a lot of stuff happens. Mick Riva is their father. I just read Daisy Jones and the Six, like I said, and I don't remember his character. Like, I feel like I'm totally blanking on who he is. And I know he's also in The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which I have read and loved, but I read that book so many years ago that I don't remember him in there. I think she married him at one point. But I'm so excited to read this, and we'll see how I feel about it. I feel like I'm gonna like it, so I am excited to give this one a try. Now, finally onto the packages. I don't fully remember what's in here, to be honest. I do have an idea, but I don't remember exactly what I bought. So the first book is Indigo Ridge by Daphne Perry. This is the first book in the Edens series. This I read in October and really enjoyed it. I just had to get a physical copy of it. This cover is beautiful. It is way prettier in person. I love how blue it is as well. Like, blue is my favorite color, and this is just a beautiful blue. This is a small town romance between a female police chief and a rancher. There's also kind of a romance suspense aspect in here as well. I really enjoyed this. It was very good, and I am happy to add this to my Devney Perry collection. This next one, I do know what it is. I am hoping it kind of matches the other book in the series, but we'll see. Ah, it's the old cover, Rock Hard by Olivia Cunning. I thought this was going to be the new cover. This is the second book in the Centers on Tour series. I thought it was going to match Backstage Pass, but it doesn't match. It is the old cover. I'm kind of bummed about this, I'm gonna be honest. I wanted the new cover. The new cover was really pretty. It was like pinks and like oranges, and it just looked gorgeous. And I could kind of tell in the package that it wasn't the same size as this, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm just happy to have this series. This again is another Rockstar romance. Like I said, Rock Hard is my favorite in the series, so I'm very happy to finally have a physical copy of this, and I can't wait to reread it. Now I have a box to open. I think I kind of know what everything is in here, if I'm remembering correctly. Okay, I'm just gonna take these all out so that the box is not making noise. The first book is All Roads Lead Here by Mariana Zapata. This I read back in September and absolutely loved it. This is a wonderful slow burn, small town romance, kind of friends to lovers, a little bit of hate to love at some moments. I just had to have a physical copy of this. I loved it so much. I am obsessed with it, and I am very happy to add this to my currently growing Mariana Zapata collection. The next three that I got from Amazon are part of the same series. So I got Beautiful Bitch, Beautiful Stranger, and Beautiful Bombshell by Christina Lauren. I think Beautiful Stranger is book 2 in the series, and these other two are like little novellas in the series. I think I still have 2 more I have to buy, but I wanted to grab all of them so that I could just reread them back to back. I do own them on my Kindle, but I honestly just want to own series that I really love and that have kind of stayed with me over the years, and I honestly have loved this series. I binged it back in the day, and as somebody who claims to love Christina Lauren's older stuff, I don't know why I don't own their like original series. Like, I don't know why I don't own physical copies of these, because I do really love the series. And then the last book is also a old favorite, and that is Pucked by Helena Hunting. This is also another series I want to reread. Like, honestly, the more I think about it, the more I just want to reread like a whole bunch of old favorite series that I feel like I never really took the opportunity to appreciate. Especially back in the day, I would just binge books all of the time. I would just read books back to back, and I never really fully absorbed each book that I was reading. And obviously there's nothing wrong with like reading books back to back and like reading a bunch. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I personally never really appreciated and fully connected with each book that I was reading. And now that I have a reading journal, I really like to write notes about every single book that I read, and I think it's going to be a great experience rereading some old favorites, and I can write all of my notes down. And it's also been fun to do that with like new books that I've been reading and writing them in my journal. It's making me appreciate everything I read a little bit more. Even if it's not like a 5-star read, I still am just appreciating each book, and I'm letting books sink in a little bit more with me, and I'm just really loving that. So I have been buying old favorite books, and this is another one. This is a hockey romance. This is a very fun, funny, kind of over the top, ridiculous hockey romance. I feel like it's a great change of pace when it comes to hockey romance because I feel like a lot of them are pretty serious, and this is definitely not a serious book. I am very excited to reread the entire series. Pucked Off is my favorite in the series. I do own that one already. Yeah, I am happy to add another Helena Hunting book to my collection because I actually really enjoy her books. So that was it for this book haul. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it was a lot of books that I have already read before, a lot of old books as well, like nothing super new, but I hope you guys enjoyed this haul regardless. Let me know if you have read any of these books and what you thought of them, or let me know some of your recent book buys. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, follow me on all my other social media, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!